Hey, this is George.
Hey, this is Ferry.
This is Real Talk with George and Fraser. Just as we start the show, man, your phone goes off.
I know, right? It made no sense.
Told you to put it on vibrate. You don't want to listen.
If you on vibrate, vibrate, and it like
It's crazy.
get on my nerves. Either way, look at get on my nerves.
Oh, you're going to have to do something, bro. We on the show right now, live.
We know how to go this way, so we know how to go. Like, dang it! But you got news this week?
Well, did you see the Caressa Shields fight last night?
I saw dabs of it though. It was good, wasn't it?
It was good, but it was heartbreaking for me. And the reason why it was heartbreaking for me is because you can tell that she doesn't have any grappling experience.
Yeah.
And some of the positions that this girl had her in, which was it was a very smart strategy on her opponent's part, because she couldn't stand with her. And see, the thing was, with Shields' punching power, and you're wearing 3.5-ounce gloves, it's just like wearing knuckle covers. And it was a great strategy. You know, the thing that hurt my heart in watching that was her coaches should have spent a lot more time with using her grappling defense to not go on the ground. So push out, circle out, and then start all over again. Because some of the things that she was doing on the ground, I was like, oh, this is what these little kids do the first week they walk into class, and they still don't have the basics. And even though she was strong, she was trying to muscle her as opposed to use some technique like swimming, grabbing the arm, locking it so it doesn't punch. This was good. I like that, where she was holding her and having to carry her body. But there were times where I was just like, "There's okay, now she's up. Swim, grab the arm, lock it, post, and turn." And the fact that she wasn't doing that, it just bothered me. And I was like, she could actually lose this fight because she didn't understand just those very simple basics, But she just said she went wild, brother, in the third round, and she absolutely did. Just something in her was like, I'm just not going to lose this fight, and she definitely did what she had to do.
Definitely. But I'm gonna think you said, Joe, go back to what you said though. Yeah, one with great strikers sucks on the ground.
Oh yeah.
Look at Kimbo Spice. On top, you ain't beating him. Stand up, you might get up. Don't even waste your time because you ain't winning that fight. Now, on the ground, you got a chance. Try to tire him out. You may have a chance. Right. Same with me when I fought my first jiu-jitsu fighter, and he says, "Oh, I got you." He grabbed me on the ground. But one thing I learned, it's called science. When somebody's smaller than you and you're a little bit bigger than him, you got weight mass.
Right.
At weight mass times speed times strength, I ain't getting beat. You ain't pinning me. You ain't breaking on. You ain't doing nothing to me. So what I did was I got on top of him. I tired him out. I don't do all that. George, he twisting, he rapping it. But guess what? I call it a 2-inch rule. You allow them to move 2 inches to where they want to go, to where they don't want to go, to one door. Eventually they get what?
They get tired. Yeah, because they're carrying your weight.
Exactly. So when he get on his feet, what usually happens, George?
He's tired. Can't move.
There you go.
But I knew that was going to happen too, because she was smaller and she could fight on the inside. Mm-hmm. Her thing was she wasn't checking any kicks, and I'm like, I don't understand why she's not checking kicks. She should know how to do that. But her hands are real quick. I mean, the first time she touched her in the first round, her eyes lit up and she just shot. Her opponent just shot. And I was like, yeah, that's what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Throughout the whole fight. But it was a good learning experience. It was good to watch. I know when they look at tape, they're going to have a lot of things to talk about. But listen, we got a guest right now who's setting up and getting ready. Been waiting for her to come back on because we got to talk about this stuff right here. Miss Donisha Porter, welcome to Real Talk.
What's going on?
How you doing,
fam?
How y'all doing?
We're doing good today. Doing good today.
Sorry.
Listen, I want. Oh, that's all right. That's all right. We was waiting on you talking about fights. I was getting ready to talk about basketball.
That's my girl.
Oh yeah.
She know.
Don't play. That's my girl.
Yeah. So, did you watch the fight or did you just YouTube it?
I did a chance to watch it because I was at another event, but I seen the finish and I said, okay.
Okay. All right.
Exactly right.
Well, you missed a lot of pieces. I don't know if you heard my recap about it, but that's how the fight went until third round when she just went crazy.
Yeah.
Like they say, you may not know karate, but you know crazy, and that's exactly what
Crazy.
she did. That's exactly what she did, and sometimes that works.
Hey, you understand? Sometimes Boo's strength and angry, and she the woman too. Ain't nobody beating her, man.
Nah,
Quite 20.
nah,
What
not
you
at
talking
all.
about?
I
It's
mean, look, her
probably-
punching power, I just have to say it, her punching power is just unmatched. It's just unmatched. And as fast as she is with her hands, it was just like, see, the thing about women that I like is women, when you teach them something, they have that skill set and they'll use it. Like
Yeah.
anything. You tell boys, do 20 push-ups, they'd be like, well, I got to do all that.
Exactly.
You tell
Wow.
girls to do 100 push-ups, they'll get down and do 100 push-ups.
Yeah.
And when it comes to striking,
Oh,
that's not
hold
you
on.
right now.
Hold on. Okay, got one boy. She said she ain't doing all that 100 push-ups. I don't know about that one.
Honey, I need a little time.
Okay, yeah, I definitely agree with that. But the thing is, you're going to do it. And the reason why I like girls when they're fighting is because if you tell a girl a three-piece combination, she'll throw the three-piece combination. A guy will throw one punch and then he'll wait.
Yep.
And I'm just like, I just don't understand that because you're not going through the whole process. It's a 3-3-3 bang, and then you move into something else. So I like working with ladies more than I like working with guys. Let me just say that.
But your partner's a guy.
I'm talking about fighting.
Oh,
Fighting though. See,
We're both fighters. Praise know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, see me, I'm in 4, 5, 6, 18, 28 combos. So I'm in all the combos. Might add some loot in there too at the same time. I don't know. Throw Apple behind. Hold on. I mean, I would know. Coach, I'm the first drill instructor. Do a gun. He says, I need to do 2 taps. I did 3. I did 2 taps, and 3. Why so much? You want to make sure I wounded him. I made sure he ain't getting up no more.
Right.
In the picture.
Well, anyway, enough fight talk. We want to bring you back on the show to talk about investments. What are you investing in right now? How's your crypto portfolio? Because I lost about 55% in mine.
oh.
Yeah.
He's crying.
He's crying.
Can you tell?
Yeah, crying. I'm crying on the inside.
Well, I mean, I can't give you all the sauce, like I said before. But I'll say when it comes to like a lot of people, they just buy it and hold it on these platforms that they don't really know anything about, right? So one, just as like a alert. So most of those platforms, you're buying it, but you don't actually own the crypto. Just like, if you're renting something, you don't own it. You're just renting it, and somebody can come and tell you to get out. Some of those like crypto, I guess you can say platforms. So like Coinbase, it's a great platform. However, when you purchase crypto on there, you don't actually own it. It is good to use it to move and stuff like that. But I'll strongly suggest Coinbase Pro instead of just Coinbase by itself. And there's other ones, of course, that are available. But the space that I'm a part of with IM Academy, we don't just buy, we sell too. So, and the products and the strategies and stuff that we have tell us when to buy and when to sell, and just from general, technical analysis, market structure, stuff like that, we know when to buy and when to sell it. So that way you can catch both and not just you could have caught, as they say, caught the fall and then caught the dip.
That's right.
There you go.
So, how did your portfolio work out?
It's working.
All right. That's all I wanted to hear.
Working. There's most, they just know, again, like the basics, Bitcoin, Ethereum, maybe, and a few know Ripple. Everybody was going crazy over Dogecoin. It's like, it's a dog. Like, it was based off a joke. Like, just, everybody loves to be on the internet and share opinions. Look at who created the coin. It wasn't meant to be whatever. That's just my but yeah, there's over 7,000 different cryptocurrencies. So like I said, people just know maybe 4, 5, 6 if they're really good, but there's thousands of other ones, and every day we're learning from our master educators of which ones they're looking at, where they have their portfolios, because again, they're making 7, 8 plus figures. Someone's been able to purchase a whole house off of it, so it's like I can follow you.
Right.
Exactly.
You tell me when to press, I'm gonna press, or you tell me what to look into, I'm gonna look into that. Um, so yeah, like there's just a lot of stuff there that you can't find it on YouTube, or it's gonna take you years attempting to figure out where it is or how to get to it. Because you can't just like again Coinbase. There's certain larger coins you could just buy. So like Bitcoin, even stuff like Chainlink and Litecoin, stuff like that, you can buy them there. But like I said, there's only maybe I think maybe 30, 50 coins there. And like I said, there's 7,000 plus different types of cryptocurrencies, and there's ones that will be the newer, you could say like a Bitcoin. So Bitcoin eventually started $10, a few dollars. There's coins that are even less than that now, and you can buy them. And then as they grow and gain value, they'll be worth 100, couple K, and so forth. We're learning about those things now. We're definitely pushing right now decentralized finance, so DeFi. I'm not sure if you like heard of that, but that's more getting into, like I said, that ownership of cryptocurrency. And learning how to purchase it, because like I said, you can't just buy it on Robinhood or Coinbase and then actually own it.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. A lot of people into cryptocurrency don't know that. That's a problem. Every time you see these huge spikes and people start taking their money off the table, that's why Robinhood always shuts down, because they're losing liquidity. They have a metric in place where it's about 33 to 35%. Once that liquidity drops, they shut down. People are like, oh, I can't get on Robinhood. Well, yeah, you can't. They stop trading because they're losing too much liquidity. And that's something that they didn't know. In my crypto journey, it started, believe it or not, on Robinhood. Like I spent $36 on Dogecoin last May, and that $36 went all the way up to $10,500. And I was like, what's happening here? You know what I mean? And it was a great learning experience, because it was a new asset class that I had heard about, but I didn't have enough knowledge to get into it until I finally started learning about asset classing, DeFi projects, what's being used as currency, so forth and so on. And I think that we kind of missed that a little bit, except the fact that it all worked out because we're in a bull market right now, which is set to end probably at the end of this year before we go into the bear market again for the next Bitcoin cycle after the halving. So the reason why I'm saying all this is because a lot of times we in our community, we miss a lot of this education and things that could help us, like you said, exponentially. Like there's a few DeFi projects out there right now, like you said, that can get in from $1 to $10, but 4 years from now, that could be it.
Like 0.00006, stuff like that.
Right.
So if you get it now, by the time it reaches 1 cent, you're gonna see that same multiplication.
That 100x or that 1000x. I mean, there's no doubt about it. There's a few projects that I'm looking at right now, so that are Africa based, that I'm very excited about, like Quidex, because what Quidex does is it actually uses the local currency to get the local communities in Nigeria to be able to get onto the cryptocurrency exchange and buy cryptocurrency without converting it to US dollars. What a lot of people don't know or understand is, being from that region, what crushes Africa completely is the fact that Africa does not have US dollars. Everything runs on US dollars. You need it for your foreign exchange. You need it to run your government. You need it to pay your people. And so literally for the last 50 years, the way that Africa has been controlled, it's been controlled by the United States and their USAID. That's the first thing they get ready to take away when they want to control a government, their ability to do the US dollar. And that will start. I mean, in my country of Liberia, for instance, we used to have a currency that was 1-to-1 to the US dollar. That's why we were able to pay for our kids to go to school in the United States, everything. I mean, Africa was known as one of the superpowers in West Africa, because people used to come to Liberia to buy everything from rice to salt to everything, because the dollar was 1-to-1. After the war came, and after the administration came that they didn't like in '84, it went to 5-to-1. Then when the war came, it went 25-to-1. I think now it's like at 80-to-1. And even at 80-to-1, it has pushed the local people out of the local economy. They're suffering basically. So Quidex, what it's able to do is say, no, we can take that Liberian dollar, get you on a crypto exchange for you to be able to buy currency without going through a national bank, and basically begging for a US dollar transaction. And I think it's genius. I've been looking for something like that and tried to create something like that for like 30 years because that's what's crippling a lot of people. So that's one project that I'm looking at. I'm also looking at another project, Safe Moon, because they're actually actively working in the Gambia, and the Gambia is part of West Africa and the whole ECOWAS countries. And if they get that, it's over. It's a wrap. Cancel Christmas.
Yeah.
It's a Christmas.
Yeah. I mean, to that, like you said, the US dollar does not translate well there. However, we do partner with a lot of people that are in, mostly, I guess most of the people that I've been coming in contact with that one are within the same investment space as I am, usually are in like Nigeria or Ghana. And so Safe Moon is one of those coins, even for us, with our US dollar, we cannot just purchase it. It has to
Right.
be, I guess you can say, like translated into another coin. So everybody, of course, was on the Bitcoin wave, but Ethereum, I think I said this the last time, Ethereum is like the plug. Everything runs, anything you want to swap for, you would use Ethereum. So
Right.
on any platform that you're swapping with, that's what you would use. Because again, we cannot translate the US dollar to a Safe Moon or use it to buy a Safe Moon super bid. That was one. I don't know if you guys seen the Paul, what's his name, Logan Paul and Mayweather fight.
Yeah.
Okay, and you've seen on his shorts, he had super bid. He had it's not Avatar. It's spelled something like that. But it was like the A. I don't know if you see
Yeah.
on him.
Yes.
Yeah, so those are some upcoming projects. Superbid is a coin, and then the other one is going to be has a series of NFTs.
NFTs.
Like you can buy like past moments or pictures or things like that, and hold them for their value. Just kind of like how you would, like if you had a safe keep from the 80s, 60s, years ago, and try to go pawn it. Those things you can kind of purchase them and hold on to them and they'll accrue value as well.
Absolutely. Because NFTs are just like baseball cards to the equivalent, but they're the digital part of that. So explain to the listeners really quick about how you structure your portfolio, because I've structured mine a little bit differently. I want to hear your tips.
Yeah.
Not a crypto educator. I'm not a master trader in any way. But I'm not any license, anything like that. So like I said, I pretty much go with the big guys, right?
Right.
The people who have been handpicked out of the whole world, top educators in the world, right? We top two and not number two. So if you're telling me, okay, this is what I'm looking at, then I can at least minimum, okay, what coins are you looking at? Let me look at them. What's the cap on it? And there's certain sites and things, again, we get access to within our platform to say, okay, like, what is it about to do? What is the news saying right now? Can I only buy and hold this? Where can I buy it at? Is it too much? Is the swap fee too, like, things like that? I guess you can say I'll take into consideration of that, but I'm not
Mm-hmm.
spending hours or like, okay, what's going to be the new? No. Not, like I said, I'm not in any way a master any of that. I'm still a full-time therapist. I mentor, the people that I do have been able to impact thus far. I do keep in contact with my past athletes and things like that. So my family has a business and I take care of, them and stuff. So
That's
it's
right.
not, I don't have time to just be, yeah. It's almost like if you have an accountant or somebody, they just say, hey, here's your budget, you go spend it. And that's all you worry about.
That's right.
Same way. I know, all right, every time I get paid or each week, I'm putting my 10% and spreading it out for my portfolio to continuously grow. I mean, that's, I guess, kind of like one way, but it's not like all right, I'm going to pick this one because this, and this, or like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not doing all the OCD extra research for it, I guess you could say. I understand it. I know how to, like, day-to-day trading it. I know how to analyze it, to read it, especially because it's usually the coin against the US dollar. So
That's
of course,
right.
any currency against that, the US goes up, the other one's going to come down. So therefore, I'm going to be selling it. If the US dollar drops, and the other currency is going up, I'm going to be buying it.
Right.
So that's really kind of as simple as I keep it. And then, like I said, I'm able to analyze the market in addition to, of course, the strategy and stuff that we have. But I do understand technical analysis and market structure to know when this thing's about to buy or sell. So quick tip, the US dollar just shot up today. So I should tell you what this weekend's about to look like
Right.
for cryptocurrency. But for mostly if it's against it, like I said, the US dollar, that's going up or going up. The other one might be coming down, but then once that drops, I am not a master trader though.
No, absolutely. And the reason why I wanted your opinion is because none of us are master traders. You know, we're doing some of the same strategies that you're using, but everything you gave is the exact gem and the exact piece that I wanted our listeners and fans to basically understand, because 99% of people are not doing this, or day traders where they're sitting there and they're looking at the 4 hours or the 4 minutes or the this, that, and the third, and they're doing this or they're doing that. That's not, you know, Fraser and I are still invested in real estate, and crypto is just a long way away. You know, you can take a look and go, okay, boom, and you're back onto your other stuff because you have that strategy in place to be able to say, okay, now it's time to move, or now it's time to hold, or do some of these other things. And my point is just, don't overcomplicate it. I guess that's the message I wanted people to understand. You know, I'm not a financial advisor either, but I'm a businessman. I understand certain things, you know, and I do understand that this particular industry is an industry that has life-changing wealth when it comes to it, because the way that it works and the way that it has kind of turned advising and investing on its head, so to speak. For instance, you know, in real estate, we always look to just double our money. So for instance, if I put 25,000 in, I want to get 25,000 out, no matter if I bought the house at 150,000, you know what I mean, or 95,000. That would be my markers to be able to do that. And, you know, these are some of the assets that you've seen where you'd be like 25% out. You know, you just did 5,000x in a shorter amount of time, so to speak, to be able to do that. And I just think that a lot of us are missing the boat because we don't take the time to get the knowledge that we need. And like I was telling my wife last night, you know, this is the first time where you can sit back and say, you know, I can buy a crypto asset for my kid, and 10 years from now, I got enough money for him to go to college without stressing about it if the project is viable, like a Ava, like a Ethereum, like a Cardano, you know what I mean? Something in place where you just like, boom, and just let it go. So
right. Do that, like I'll say these were this, and I was just telling somebody about this. These things are not a part of our usual table talk, as they say, right? So don't rely on yourself to, one, go and find the knowledge that you need, and then
That's
two,
right.
give yourself that knowledge. It just doesn't make sense. Go with someone who has already shown you what they've been able to do with this, and they're showing you how you can do the exact same thing, and not just, you know, to double your portfolio, but minimum anything we take is 1 to 2. So really it's 1 to 5. Like your risk is going to be like a 1 to 5
Right.
to your, or 1 to 10, or, you know, depending on the crypto. We don't only invest in crypto. We don't only invest in crypto. We also do like currency stuff, and then some stocks. And then, like, I guess just a quick like overview in terms of what kind of investment we do. So the regular foreign exchange. Then we have what's called HFX, high frequency. So kind of for anybody, you know, who knows of like options trading, that's what that is. And then there's crypto. So cryptos, yes, it's one of those things. All right, this looks go ahead. But the product itself that we utilize is a thing called Simple Scalper. So or Swipe Point Scalper. So anybody who's on the go, so us, it sends you like a quick alert. And literally I just sent one out to our team before I got on here to say, okay, buy at this point. And then once it hits here, it's going to secure my money. If it doesn't, my risk is only 1%, that 10%, or not 10%. I'm sorry. It's only 1 to what my reward would be is
Right.
4. So yeah, there's different ways to invest. And again, like I said, we got to put ourselves in position to receive the right knowledge, not just, oh, I want to learn about this. Well, I seen this on this video, but yeah, but did you get the actual background? Do you even know who created this coin? Like how it out? Do you realize that, okay, you think it's going up, but really it just hit a peak? Like, but you don't. I mean, like I don't even have to know all of that information, but I know if I log into this platform, it's gonna tell me that because it's already taken all of the knowledge from the bank, the educators, and put it in one, so that I don't have to go do all that extra, research and finding things out. It really just does it for me. And then for like the HFX portion, again, that's where people want to go. I was rushing here because I was helping at the store, doing all these things, but in the midst of that, I have headphones, right? So
Right.
they're saying, hey, all right, we're gonna call here, or we're gonna buy here, sell here, 1-2 minutes. I just went 7-0 before I got on this call. Like
Nice.
I just gave myself a 10% increase on another portfolio, not just cryptos, but my
Right.
regular FX portfolio. And then we also have our, like I said, that regular foreign exchange one where we're trading indices and literally everything for pairs, currency pairs, indices, cryptos, you name it on that one. And
Right.
that same type of growth. So it's like so when you say like to expand our portfolio or have those different parts, so even when one may drop, okay, that's just one out of 30, 20, at least 10 other ones. So
Right.
it's like, I'm worried about
Nice. Nice.
Oh, see, he don't know, Jordan.
that.
I say he don't know. One thing too, like he explained with people about the peak. Like when you invest, explain more about the peak. I know I looked at an insider the other day was like, say Dogecoin was supposed to get to a certain point. It actually went over what the peak it should have went. It really wasn't supposed to go no more than 25 cents. It really went over that. Like Bitcoin. They said Bitcoin supposed to have gotten 100 before it dropped, but it didn't get that far either. So like he's explaining to our listeners like the difference between the peaks and the analysis of the peaks, the estimate of the peak go here to here, and what difference it mean when you're investing.
Before you answer that question real quick, I just want to add on to that. There's also market manipulation that you have in place when you're talking about peaks. So for instance, it has been confirmed that the reason why Bitcoin did drop was because there was a whale that they were trying to bankrupt. So they were trying to get Bitcoin to 27,000 K, and it didn't get that far, at least not yet. It always got to 29 and it went back to 30, and dealing with high volatility and market manipulation, it can definitely be an issue when it comes to that. There was also some things where some people didn't want to buy Bitcoin at 65,000 where it was because it kept going up. They wanted to buy it at 30,000 because they're projecting that Bitcoin is going to 90 to about 150 before the end of the cycle. So they wanted 5 times their money as opposed to sitting there and just double their money. So I just wanted to put that in there because when Fraser, you talk about what it did and didn't do, there's also a lot of knowledge behind that, just to let our fans know that, don't be scared or something. Do the research and understand exactly how they did it. This is definitely still a buying opportunity. But back to peaks and valleys.
I mean, yeah, and even before add what George just said. So there is news, but one thing that always let me say this. 9.999998% of the time, market structure will hold true. So even taking into account of the news and things that happen, because if you look back, even just we're on Bitcoin, so looking at the history of Bitcoin, certain periods of time, there's always that same news, right?
Right.
There's an election, companies, they make their certain decisions around certain spring times, or if it's summer or winter, whatever, right? And just like a business, there's certain cycles that George mentioned. There's certain cycles it goes through. So the same thing applies with currencies, and those cycles are actually patterns. And I can't give all the sauce, but there's a certain name, there's a certain pattern that Bitcoin right now is following of this up and down before it shoots. And again, that kind of applies really to all of the more affluent cryptocurrencies as well as your stocks. And cause there's a guy, he comes up to me every time. He's like, "Yeah, man, you see the da-da-da." He's like, "I just put all this money." I'm like, "Bro, you're in school. Like when it comes to market structure and like the whole ideas of those peak and valleys, or when people say, 'Oh, I'm gonna buy the dip." Well, if only you understood this, not an actual dip. It's just either a reversal, a support level, or a resistance level. It isn't just this looks deep, let me dive in. Like
Right.
there's no floor. Where you die, like you're gonna dive and keep falling. Like
That's right.
Exactly.
And I'm keeping it really like, I guess you can say like layman terms. Like there's patterns. Like I said, these cycles include patterns. The market's gonna do that. And again, like I said, the news and stuff that is occurring, it isn't like shocker or like, oh my goodness, they're manipulating the news again. Like, no, they did this 10 years ago, and then the last 4 and the last 3. Like every time during this time before it makes that big old push, something happens, right? And then just in general, like with the market, the best example I give to people is like, okay, we knew when Trump opened his mouth, the US dollar was going to drop, and probably drop.
Right.
And when the solution or some type of solution came about, or he got quieted, it went back up a little bit. Like those same type of conditions, like if people can understand that, like, yes, that's the background you need to know. And then if you want to really learn like the skill of it, it comes from understanding, like market structure and things. And again, like I said, don't be that person to just try to go learn it on your own, because then you learn it wrong. And you can read all the books, but if you don't know how to apply the books, or someone that has that like one-on-one mentorship really, really, really makes a difference. So just put yourself, like I said, in position to learn the right information the right way and learn how to apply it for you, because everybody's not going to be the same. Everybody, some people are long-term holding. They want kind of more of that quick return, but learn one to really do both, and that's how you're going to multiply your money. Yeah, I hope I answered your question on that.
You did, and we definitely appreciate those tips. Tell everybody where they can get the software solution that you're using, the application and name of it.
Okay, so like I said, it's a part of I Am Academy. You'd have to directly contact myself or someone affiliated with it to be plugged into it, because they go online and buy this, but you can look, people who love to do the research. I Am Master Academy. You can look it up, but they can directly contact myself at Donisha Porter on Facebook, or at Donisha DONISHAP _ on Instagram. And yeah, we can just kind of go from there. If you would like to email the letter D, trades, TRADES 2020 @gmail.com. So either any of those.
Beautiful.
Nice. I think she didn't leave the out. Everybody.
Nice. Absolutely. Well, listen, sis, we definitely appreciate you coming back on the show and sharing that knowledge, because you have a lot of vast knowledge, and it's Fraser and I talk about it all the time, but when people hear it from somebody else, it kind of reinforces what we're saying. So we just appreciate you taking 30 minutes out of your day to come talk to us on Real Talk, and let our community know that this is a safe place to have these conversations. And I hope really that they learned and pick something up and take action.
Yes. And I'd be remiss if I didn't that yes, we still invest in things like that, but like I am a therapist, so please check on all your friends, check on yourself. If you need help with something, seek the help, like I said, from someone other than just the people you're around, because they're in it with you, so they're not really going to be able to help you out of it. Okay.
Right.
I just want to add that in there.
Thank you.
Most definitely.
All right. Well, that's our show. Thanks for being with us, Donisha.
Yes.
And
Thank you,
back to your day. I know you're busy just running. I see things moving, but we definitely appreciate
every
you.
week. George, you seminar every week. You're always busy.
She's always busy.
Seminar every week.
She's busier than we are, Fraser.
I know, right? I'm yes.
All right, now be blessed. Enjoy your weekend.
Be blessed, fam.
Bye.
We're gonna have friends to come back on and say hi, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Spread more knowledge. Spread more knowledge.
Well, Fraser, listen. That's our show, man. I know you're losing your voice. We're gonna keep you talking, man. Hey, this is George.
Hey, this is Fraser.
And that was Real Talk with George and Fraser. Y'all have a great weekend. Peace.
You too now. Peace.